Hi, and welcome to the Spare Rooms Convos podcast, where we have conversations about various things in our spare room. I'm Brendan Ford, and I'm with the awesome and forever beautiful Brooke Kutzma.
Hey guys.
Brooke, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's Saturday, got to sleep in, filming the podcast.
Yeah.
It's all going good.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
How are you doing?
I'm good. It's going.
Most definitely.
Yeah, it's kind of same old, same old.
I know. It feels nice, actually. I feel like really calm right now because I feel like it's just been a chill weekend, and I feel like we haven't had a chill weekend in a while. Where
True.
It's kind of like we get to take our time
True.
for once. We're not like super rushed.
True.
So,
And you also have that birthday glow to you.
Oh my
Your
God.
birthday was on Thursday.
It was just a couple days ago.
Yeah. How was your birthday?
It was pretty good. I unfortunately still had to go to work, but
Yeah.
it wasn't terrible. The kids honestly were the same. No special treatment for me on my birthday.
Of course.
They pretended like they were going to be nice, but they actually were crazy. And I was like, why are we being crazy? And they're like, well, it's your birthday. And I was like, well, shouldn't I be the crazy one? Like, it's my birthday, not
Right.
your guys' birthday. So, yeah, that was fun. But, I mean, it was nice. We got to spend time with your family because we'd spent time with my family
Last weekend.
So now this weekend, we're spending time with your family. I have like 1 million ice cream cakes, so if I gain a couple pounds, nobody look at me because I eat a piece of ice cream
You and
cake.
I both have been eating
like
a lot
every
of ice cream
night.
cake. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's been nice. I feel super loved and grateful for everyone who's celebrated my birthday and stuff. So
It's awesome.
It's been nice. But now it feels like I need to stop. I feel like the attention's been on me too long, and I don't like that.
No, you deserve all the attention, Brooke.
Well, thanks, babe.
All right, Brooke. Well, we have a long list of things to get through today.
We do.
I'm very excited. I think it's going to be an awesome show today.
Yes.
Let's go ahead and talk about trending news.
Yes.
So,
Trending news.
for all the football fans out there, you guys already know this, but
Yes.
the NFL is about to get crazy.
Oh, yeah.
NFL free agency starts on March 15th.
Ooh.
So things about to get wild.
Yeah.
We actually had our first big wild event happen yesterday,
Yeah.
which was Friday.
Uh-huh.
The Bears, I got my
I was going to say Brent's
bright
repping
orange
today.
Bears windbreaker on today. The Bears made a massive trade to the Panthers. We traded the first overall pick for the Panthers, first round pick of this year, second round pick of this year, first round pick of 2024, second round pick of 2025.
Wow.
And also a very good player by the name of DJ Moore.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay, I might just not know anything about this, but how'd they get all that deal going on?
Well, I think Ryan Poles, that's the Bears GM,
Uh-huh.
and his team got it done because they, I don't know, they're very, very smart about the way they went about this whole process.
Yeah.
They were out in the media trying to stir up, demand and this more attention
Gotcha.
for this pick.
Okay.
And they clearly laid out what they wanted based on different situations. So
Okay.
we moved outside the top 5. And
Nice.
Poles said before, he wants a first round this year, second round this year, first round pick of 2024,
Mhm.
first round pick of 2025, blah, blah,
Wow.
blah, right? So he's been very upfront about it.
Yeah.
And then I think the Bears and the Panthers came to these terms because DJ Moore was added to the package.
Nice.
So instead of getting a first round pick of 2025, they gave us a second round pick in 2025.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still just as good, I feel like, to be
No,
honest.
this is
but-
awesome for a team itself because they needed a wide receiver 1.
Yeah.
So that means a very top-notch player.
Right.
For those that don't know, that's what we were missing last season.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at the receivers out in the market and in this draft, would have been hard to find a true wide receiver 1.
Mm-hmm.
So we knew Poles had to get creative in the way that he found that piece, and he did it.
He did it, yeah.
And then to add another layer to this, Like, I'm a big Justin Fields fan. I think he's going to be great, so I don't even want to say this piece.
Yeah.
But since we have 2 first-round picks next year, let's just say worst-case scenario, things don't pan out with Fields, we have a quote-unquote insurance policy to get another quarterback next year.
Like, lined up.
We have more draft capital in 2025, too.
No,
so, because this is not even done yet, the Bears could trade back again in this year's draft and get more picks for future seasons.
Holy cow. They got it, like, set up. So, wait, you said the manager's name is Nick Foles?
No, you're thinking of Nick Foles, who's a former quarterback.
Didn't you just say that?
Yeah, I said Ryan Poles.
Oh. Okay, I was combining the two. Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
Nick Foles, anyways. Ryan Poles, close.
Okay, that's embarrassing.
It happens. It's okay.
Anyways, so is he new, or like where is this, like, I feel like this plan has been like needed for a while with the Bears. Yeah,
it's a very good question. So this is his second season.
Oh,
last
so he's
season
fairly
was
new.
Obviously last year was the first one. And that's why a lot of things had to fall into place for this sequence of events to happen.
Okay.
So he took over the reins last year, got rid of a lot of key players.
Okay.
And moved a lot of big name players that were making a lot of money off our roster, cleared up cap space for this season.
Yeah.
So that's why we had, before the trade, like 96, 95 mil in cap space.
Oh, yeah.
We still have the most cap space in the league right now, even after the trade. Because when you trade for a player, you acquire also their like contract.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so we went from like 95 or 96 million in cap space to 75 million once we absorbed DJ Moore's contract in our like structure.
Gotcha.
Right. So, which is still the most in the NFL.
Right,
we still have so much space,
sounds like a lot.
which is very good because Ryan Poles still needs to work its magic, and this roster is still a mess. Like, there's so many more pieces that have to fall into place. But it's funny. So going back to like the series of events that occurred for this to happen. Last year, obviously, he just deloaded the entire roster. We were the worst team in the NFL because of that. Like, we didn't have like much talent like at all.
Yeah.
Which is why like I've been so adamant about keeping Justin Fields, because he was the one bright spot on his team. Like, he kept us in a lot of games that we had no business being in. You know.
Most definitely.
Anyways, and then it came down to week 18. So the Texans, going into week 18, we were in that second. We were the second worst team in the league. So we had like the second pick in like the draft.
Okay.
And the Texans were the worst, and they had, so therefore, the first pick, right?
So we flipped, basically.
Yeah. So we flipped like the last play of like the game, basically. Like.
Well, I guess that's not great, but also like it is. No,
it's awesome for us because if we did not have this first overall pick, who knows if this trade would even happened? That's what's so crazy. So it came down to the Texans.
Play for this? Wow.
Yeah, the Texans that were originally had the first overall pick went to Indy, and they were playing the Colts, and the game went down to like the wire, right? And what makes this so awesome is a former Chicago Bears head coach, Lovie Smith, was coaching the Texans, and it was rumored that he wanted to win that game because they told him that they do not want to bring him back as head coach.
Oh, shoot.
So this was kind of like a FU move to the Texans. He's like, okay, I'm going to go win this game and force y'all out of the first overall spot.
Oh, that's spicy.
Yeah. Of course, this is like, he hasn't like come out to public and say it,
but just hearsay, kind of.
But it's kind of like a weird, like, okay, man, like, you didn't really have to win that game. Yeah. And they went in the last play of the game. Like, it was like,
oh, gosh.
I think it was like third or fourth down. They threw like a 20-yard touchdown pass to win the game. It was like one of those things where the Colts player jumped up. He missed the ball by like a few inches.
Sure.
And the guy caught it for the Texans, and then they won. That's how we got the first overall pick.
Oh, shit.
Which then snowballed into this trade that happened on Friday.
Wow.
And then now might snowball into more deals happening here in the next few weeks.
Slay.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's been a long...
That's awesome.
A long series of events.
Yeah.
That's like, wow, I can't believe that
all added up
that
to
happened.
This now.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. That's awesome.
All right, Brooke. So let's just shift from football to, I guess you can call this more like financial industry news,
Okay.
like banking.
Okay.
Silicon Valley Bank. Okay.
Okay.
You might not know what that is. I didn't really either.
Nope.
I know what Silicon Valley is. It's where a lot of tech startups go. I think it's in like California.
Okay,
for
I was
sure.
gonna say, it's like
yeah,
California, it sounds like.
it for sure
would
is.
be.
And I don't know. I don't really get the whole premise behind it, but basically a lot of technology companies kind of like nest out of there because a bunch of geniuses go there
Sure.
and they
Okay.
like all mastermindy and all that stuff, right? So whatever.
Okay. Okay.
So it makes sense that like they deposit their money into a Silicon Valley bank. That's what the
Gotcha.
name of it is. Okay.
Okay.
So this Silicon Valley Bank,
Mm-hmm.
SVB for like short, got shut down.
Oh shoot.
Which is a big deal because all those companies and it's like 65,000 startups, like 65,000 startups deposit their cash into this bank.
Oh.
And
sound good already.
they are failing because they invested a lot of the customers' deposits into treasury bonds.
Ooh.
And what happens with treasury bonds is once the Fed increased interest rates, the value of said treasury bonds decrease.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
Doesn't sound good.
So they're basically losing a lot of money
Oh.
and a lot of primarily their customers' deposits.
Yeah.
So you have these
gosh.
65,000 companies that deposit their cash into the bank,
Yeah.
might not be able to make payroll, have cash flow, like all of this stuff.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so it's pretty like big news. I read online looking at my notes here that this is like the second largest bank failure in history.
Holy cow.
Like, this is not like a small thing. Like this
Right.
is like
I was gonna say, I feel like a bank failing in general sounds horrible
It's
because
not
so
good.
many people obviously are trusting them with their money. And then if they're failing, oh gosh, that's messy. And then 65,000 startups in it? Oh, it doesn't sound good at
it's
all.
messy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The second in history? Like largest?
Second
failure?
largest bank failure in history. Over 95% of SVB's wait, I missed the word. Sorry. Over 95% of Silicon Valley's bank's deposits are not insured by the FDIC right now.
Oh god.
So that equals wait for this number. $160 billion of uninsured
Money?
deposits right now.
Oh,
That's a lot of money.
That is so much money.
That's a lot of money.
That's like almost all of it. You said 95%?
Yes.
Oh, no. No.
It's not good.
No.
It's not good.
Oh, gosh.
This bank had about half of all venture capital-based startups in the U.S. like depositing the money.
How are they
into
going to
that bank.
recover from this? Like, what is there even
I don't
to
know
do?
what the go forward plan. Like, I don't know what a bank does in this scenario. Like, maybe like other banks will try to bail this bank out or something.
I'm sick. Like,
Yeah.
how did they like fill up for all that money? Because people, oh gosh, my
Yeah.
mind is going in a million places. This is crazy. Like,
Yeah.
thinking about your money being in there, and then obviously it's a lot because it's like your business's money, and then it's uninsured. Like,
Yes.
not good.
It's not good. It's definitely not great at all. And what makes it worse is so the bank's management, like their like C-suite,
Yeah.
sold most of their stock before things went super south. So
Oh,
like
that's shady.
did they know like
That's shady.
yeah.
They knew something.
They're like, listen, this is a sinking yacht. We have to get out of here right now.
They knew something.
Yeah.
They knew something. Now that you say that.
Well, of course. You know what I
Well,
mean?
they're in it. Yeah. Oh.
They're the ones that really caused this problem, I think.
Oh god.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah,
Oh,
let's just dip out of this real quick. It's like the most money that we can. That's still there.
Oh.
Yeah, so that's pretty wild. And
Shocked
tech is
by that.
the tech space is just so messed up right now. Like you have like layoffs going on.
Yeah.
You have a
Oh.
bank failing.
What's happening?
Yeah, in Silicon Valley, it's just it's a mess.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Not good.
Yeah. All right, Brooke, let's change gears here. Enough talking about banks failing and all that stuff. Let's talk about financial independence.
Okay.
Okay. I want to be part of the Financially Independent Retire Club.
Okay.
AKA FIRE.
Fire. All right.
FIRE. Okay.
Okay.
Basically, this I don't know what we want to call it, philosophy, movement, whatever.
Okay.
It's basically people just retiring early from maybe like a 9 to 5 or whatever.
Okay.
Right. So my moonshot goal is to retire by the time I'm 45.
Okay.
Okay. Now, don't think I'm gonna get there. It's wild. It's hard.
Yeah. Definitely.
And to make things worse, okay, I saw a TikTok, and this guy was saying that the new $100,000 salary is $200,000.
Oh, upping it?
Yeah.
It's increasing?
Yeah. So I'm like, dang, I gotta make $200,000 to really get any movement. What does that even mean?
Right. Oof.
I'm nowhere close to that.
You and me both.
Which kind of shot my I don't know, hopes a little bit. I'm like, dang, so what can I even do?
Yeah.
And obviously you could work your way up to a role in corporate America and make $200K.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different avenues you can go. You can work your way up, get into management or leadership and make $200K probably.
Sure.
Or enterprise sales, tech sales.
Okay.
I know a lot of people who worked on the craft for years and got that sort of compensation after a while.
Yeah. Makes sense.
But the thing is, I don't want to be a frontline salesperson.
Oh, no.
And working way up the corporate ladder, making 200K sounds nice in theory, but then, how long will it take for me to achieve that?
Right.
You know what I mean? If it takes me 10 years, so I'm in my mid-30s.
Then is that 45 attainable?
Exactly. Then I have to invest a lot of money from 35 to 45.
Yeah.
And I guess it all comes down to financial planning.
Sure.
You know, I'm sure if you have a plan and do the math, maybe it could work out. I just haven't done the math. I haven't been just thinking about it. I'm like, man, that sounds tough though.
Right. No,
you know?
most definitely.
And obviously there's other ways being a business owner.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's okay, what business do I want to start?
Yeah.
Because when you're a business owner, you control the more effort you put in, usually leads to more money you make, unless
for sure.
I don't know, unless your business doesn't have much demand.
Right.
You know, you're not selling a whole lot of either product or services or whatever.
Sure.
But yeah, that's kind of it's been on my mind, because I'm like, man, I really want this. I really want to achieve this goal, and I don't want to achieve this goal just to go sit on a beach for the rest of my days and not do anything. But it's nice knowing that you achieved financial independence, so you can do whatever you really want to.
Right.
You don't need to rely on a said job.
Yeah.
To live your life.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's more financial freedom, not having to slave away all your years of your life just working, where you could be making good money and then, like you said, retiring and then being able to do what you want with your money, having freedom, not being strapped down by a job that you're in the office from 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I think the real benefit is just freedom of time.
Most definitely.
You can wake up whenever you want to. I can go, I don't know. Since I achieve independence, maybe I start another business that's more a passion project.
Right.
Maybe I go back and in the high school realm and go coach high school football or something.
Right.
You can do whatever you really want to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Do more of your interests and things
that
you're passionate about than just work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I say go back to high school realm. For those that don't know, I coached high school track. A few years ago. So it'll be awesome to go back and kind of coach again. It's kind of hard, my schedule now. That's why I don't really.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's just freedom of doing whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
And don't know how I'm gonna get there.
No, it's ideal too, and I feel more people our age are realizing that we don't want to be stuck in a job until we're 60 forever working.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel you're not the only one who's thinking about this. Obviously, you were just saying it's a whole movement and everything. So I think it will become more common, and maybe it will be more attainable too. Like if it's the prices are increasing or of the sort, So
Yeah.
who knows?
And I bring up the whole financially independent retire early thing because if you are someone out there who wants to achieve the same thing, please like reach out to me and let's start like a group where we kind of just help each other out, maybe bounce ideas back and forth, or you know how there's like book clubs, people who like reading.
Like me, maybe?
Yeah, like you and your friends.
Yeah.
Let's like out there, if you want to start this movement, let's start like kind of a quote unquote club or a cohort or something.
Right.
So we can kind of like support each other along this journey and kind of just like I already said, bounce ideas back and forth and like I don't know. Let's
That's
just
a really
go
good idea.
climb this huge mountain together,
Right.
and see what happens, to see if we can make it happen for all of us.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So please reach out if you are someone that wants to achieve this. I definitely want to learn more, and we can help each other learn and achieve what we want to.
Most definitely.
All right, Brooke. So you also have a personal development piece today. Do you want to tell us what that is?
Yes, I'm gonna step onto my teacher's soapbox and go off a little bit. I think it was about a week ago, maybe now, I've seen this TikTok of this teacher talking about apathy and saying it's the real reason why teachers are leaving. And she was going on and on. I was like, okay, I might be dumb. Like, what even is apathy? So
Yeah, I never heard that before.
I looked it up because I was like, I know empathy, but like, what's apathy? And apathy is like having a lack of interest and enthusiasm in something. So what the girl was saying in the TikTok was noticing a lack of apathy in students. So like students are not interested in school. They don't care if they get in trouble. You can tell them, I'm calling your parents, you're suspended. I don't care. They'll do a super fun project, like something very creative that the teacher took a really long time to do. They're not interested. And I really related to that because I see that in my students too. Like, I'll do something what I think is fun and they don't care. Or like they're interested for like 2 minutes and then move on.
Interesting. Or
they'll like act out and being crazy, or and I was like, that is a really good point, because she was like saying how it's more apathy, like student behaviors is like a huge thing, but also like if your students aren't interested in school, they don't care about school, that also makes it really hard.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to teach someone who doesn't want to learn, who doesn't care about school, who doesn't care about consequences, doesn't care about their learning, doesn't care about doing fun things. And I think that does take a really big toll on teachers, because like she was saying, like if they're not interested, how are you supposed to do anything? Like,
yeah,
she was like, I'm doing this really fun like book report project, like they dress up and do these things and activities and crafts and all this stuff, and she's like, they don't care about it at all. And that's just like stinks, because like that's a way that we make learning fun, and that's something I'm very like passionate about, is doing more like project-based learning and hands-on learning, and I'm really into STEM and STEAM and things of the sort, and kids just do not care. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I have a couple questions for you.
Yeah, sure.
Or I guess a couple, I don't know, asks.
Sure.
Go ahead and explain what STEAM and STEM is for those that don't know.
Okay, so STEM you're probably more familiar with, science, technology, engineering, and math. Mm-hmm. But STEAM has come more into a realm. I did my whole senior seminar research on STEAM. Mm-hmm. It's just including an art piece, so the A is for art. So still STEM, technology, engineering, and math, just also an art. So more of like a creative piece, mm-hmm. which kind of goes in with like the design aspect, or like adding a creative art balance to it, I guess. So it allows like students to be way more creative, and like STEAM and STEM are like for the century of kids, and so that's why I'm very passionate about it. And, like, I love my school. They have a special they go to for STEM, which is so cool to me. That's, like, something new I've never seen
Yeah,
before.
I didn't have that growing up.
So it's, like, cool because we're adjusting to this realm of kids because we can see it now, like, even in jobs that, like, we see. STEM is huge for everyone, and especially in, like, technology because it's ever changing. Like, these kids know so many things. I was trying to fix something on someone's Chromebook the other day, and he's like, just do this. I was like, how do you know that? And I don't, you know?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, just adjusting to what kids need now, like the skills and things they're going to need in their job, I feel like is something that drives me because I'm like, you need skills for what jobs are going to be available for you, not for me.
Yeah.
So, it's like, finding and fostering what's best for them in their future is a really big passion and, like, importance, I think. So that's why I like doing those type of things, but then sometimes they just, like, do not find the passion or energy to do it.
Yeah.
Which stinks.
I have a quick question.
Okay.
In your opinion, when does the line get crossed between, like, having a short attention span and then, like, not caring about a certain subject?
That's a good point because I think that also is something to be brought up with attention span, which I also have, like, strong feelings about with kids and attention spans nowadays because even now, I'll have an incentive for them to watch a movie. They don't even sit and watch the movie. Like, what? It's so crazy.
Yeah, that's wild.
Or, like, coloring. Kids hate coloring now. Or my kids do, at least. It's like,
it's just boring to them.
Yeah.
Well,
I
can kind of see that they grew up with video games and cool stuff, and then, like, okay, you put a crayon in front of them and a piece of paper, like,
and they're like,
I don't want to do this.
Yeah, they, like, hate it, but I mean, there's also, like, a good point too, like, I don't know, because I feel like it can get mixed a little bit too, because one, they might be bored, and that could be showing that they're not interested in it, because sometimes, like, in my students specifically, I'm like, okay, I can sense you're bored or don't care about this because you're not putting in the effort. Like, the other day we did this craft to get them ready for, like, state testing we have coming up, and it's like, they take, like, 10 minutes on it. They're like, okay, I'm done, and it looks like crap, you know? So, whereas, like, I know in school we would take, like, so much time on something like that, and
interesting.
It's just, like, not interesting, and I'm like, oh, I thought this would be fun. Instead of doing a million practice questions that we've been doing all week, now we're doing a craft to, like, set up our success or whatever, but they don't care about it.
Yeah.
And I feel like it's more adamant in, like, again, maybe some behavioral kids, because I've also had students being like, I'm not doing that. I don't care about that. I'm going to be like, okay, well, it's a 0. Okay, I don't care.
Gotcha.
I'm like, you're going to fail. I don't care. So it's kind of interesting to see, but I feel like, again, things in teaching, like, overlap. Like, there's so many also underlying things that go into that as well with, like, outside of school things and everything else going on in their environment too. So it's hard to pinpoint exactly, but I feel like that is a good point, like, with being bored and, like, not showing interest, like, how it, or I guess attention span and lack of interest, how it kind of correlates, because kids do not have an attention span nowadays.
So what's your advice to someone that's maybe finishing college right now, want to step into being a teacher, right? So what's your advice to them for dealing with students that either A, have a short attention span, or like, don't care about their work or whatever?
I feel like the best advice is, I mean, still doing these things, because obviously, like I said, like, they're important to find, like, and do the skills and be fun and creative and have those days, but I don't know, also really getting to know their interests, I guess, because sometimes it really helps, like, when you know a student and be like, hey, this can help with something that you're into, or draw this for the sports team that you like, kind of thing, like, tying in their interests to make it more interesting for them. But sometimes it doesn't always work, but I mean, really getting to the root of, like, why they don't like it or don't want to do it. It takes a lot and a lot of support. So, like, reaching out to, like, the supports you have in school, too, because, like, that's what really have helped me in the past with, like, those students who are, like, very adamant, like, I'm not doing this kind of thing. But, I mean, stay focused and stay driven on, like, your passion, because it can be very draining, especially, like, with those kids. Like, wow, I spent all this time putting this together and wanting to make it fun, and you're crapping on it, you know? So just, like, staying to your roots, because, like, that in all is what makes you a good teacher and makes you different and, like, also impactful to them. Because, like, once you lose that, it's like when you lose yourself and your passion, and that's, again, what makes teachers want to leave, essentially.
Yeah. All right,
so,
cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sorry to get a little deep, but that is been on my mind, because she just kind of spoke to me with that. I was like, wow, I never even thought about that aspect, because there's so many other things on why teachers talk about why they leave, but I thought that was a good one to talk about.
Yeah, for sure is.
Yeah.
Cool, thanks.
Of course.
Cool, Brooke. So I think that's a wrap on our personal development segment. Let's go into our last segment for today's show.
Yes.
What are we up to?
Yes, the most interesting part, duh.
Yeah, right.
All about us.
This is why you all listen to the show, right?
Exactly.
To hear about what we're doing. So we do have an update on the home closing process. Last week we got our appraisal back. Mm-hmm. The appraisal was $13,000 higher, or sorry, backwards. Our purchase price was $13,000 higher than the appraised value.
Yes.
Which led to what's called an appraisal gap.
Yes.
What's caused us a lot of stress, because we're like, okay, how are we going to get an extra $13K for this deal? So it was a lot of back and forth between both parties, like the sellers, agents dealing with the sellers, buying agents dealing with the buyers, us. Mm-hmm. And we wanted to come, okay, how close can we get to the appraised value as possible,
right?
So that we don't have to put as much money down, right?
Yes.
So we came up to an agreement where the seller said, okay, we'll meet you halfway.
Yeah.
So they're taking like $6,600 roughly off our purchase price. So we are paying close to $7,000 less,
yes,
which helps tremendously because
so
we can get this deal done. Our closing's on March 23rd, so very excited for that. But yeah, it's been a very rocky road.
It's been crazy.
And my mom said before the process started, like, okay, it's going to be like a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Highs and lows. Just try to stay even keel. Just know some stuff is going to pop up.
Yeah, we're like, okay. But no, it definitely...
It's a lot of stuff. And I don't want to, like, say, like, knock on wood. But, like, hopefully we're in the clear. Hopefully we can just go on with the closing process now.
Yeah.
But, again, knock on wood.
It's so much.
Something else will probably come up because it's the way it has been the entire process. Yeah. So buying a first home is definitely a journey. If you're out there, if you're out there and you're also a first-time home buyer, just know, like, it is a roller coaster ride.
Right.
It's tough. Even this, like, the entire process, even going out and viewing properties and putting offers out there and getting one accepted, like, that's hard. It's been hard. Like, we were actively looking for most of last year,
right?
And then we just started this year, like the quote unquote spring season, right?
Yeah.
So it's been a lot easier than it has been last year.
Oh, for sure.
But still, it's been so hard. So just know, if you're out there, you want to buy a home, just expect it to be a long, enduring process. It's not going to be a clean cut process.
No, there's like a whole lot of unnecessary stress, I feel like, and it might seem like you might not realize it, like how we did at first, like, oh, it's gonna be fine, but like, it's so weird because, you know, we grow up in a house and live in a house and we're like, oh yeah, this is our house, but there's so much that goes into it, and yeah, like, unnecessary stress, I feel like, making you think, oh, everything's fine, and then you're like, wait, now it's not fine, now I'm scared something's gonna go bad. So Yeah, definitely know that it's a long process and that you're not alone because this is what's happening to everyone. And it's like stressful as a young home buyer too. So, yeah.
It's an endless cycle of like, okay, this deal's gonna fall through, crap.
Right.
To like, okay, maybe it might work out,
Exactly.
and then like going, oh crap, it's dead again. Like it's an
Right.
endless cycle. So try to keep your hopes high. Your hopes high. I don't know if I said that weird.
No, you didn't.
And just know that things work out for like the best.
Most definitely.
And if it's meant to be, it'll be. I
It
know
will
it's
be.
really cheesy stuff to say, but it really is true. Like when you're on the right path, things just
Things
kind of
will
fall
work
into
out.
place for you.
Most definitely. That's how it's been for us. So,
Yeah.
it will.
Yeah. We've also been doing a lot of TV watching. I know, shocker. We watched the rest of Outer Banks season 3. We said last week on the show that the season has been awful.
Yeah.
I've hated it. So I'm eager to do our rankings here,
Yeah.
or not ratings.
Same thing.
Yeah, say kind of. But Brooke, how about you go ahead and give us on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being like I want to cut my eyes out because the show was awful, to 10 being I can watch this every day for the rest of my like life.
Oh.
How would you rank this past season of Outer Banks?
I would say, to be honest, maybe like a 4 or 5.
Yeah.
I didn't love it. I seriously feel like I only liked the last episode because it got a little juicy, you know? The rest of it, like we had talked about before, just like kind of made me mad. I don't know why. But we were saying also because it's kind of like teeny a little bit, so maybe we've just outgrown the show a little bit.
I'm really leaning towards that.
But
That's like the reason.
Yeah, it just did not pique my interest, and like I said, the last episode was really the only thing that got me, and then the end, I know they're doing another season, and I'm just like, what are they gonna do now? You know?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of just like over it, but 4 out of 5 for entertainment purposes. It was kind of just there for me.
It was kind of just there. It was like one of those shows where we put on and then like we were doing stuff.
Doing other stuff. I
was like working or something or doing some sort of data project or For me, I give it a solid 3.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
I did not like it at all. I think the writing was poor, and again maybe because it is for a different target audience.
Yeah.
Like the younger group, like they just. I don't know. They did whatever. I think the writing was poor. I think the plot line was like poor.
It just was not interesting.
But like the actors are good.
Yeah,
in a
I like
sense.
them.
Like I like some of them.
Mm-hmm.
But this the overall vibe of like the season.
Off.
It was just not good.
No.
And the way they ended the season, I did not like it either. Like I think it was poor writing too.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like didn't make sense.
It was a little rushed at the very end, I feel like.
They did a lot of stuff that didn't have to happen, I don't think. Like, it was watching, like, it's one of those moments when you're watching it, like, how the hell does that happen or work? Like, that just makes no sense. But I guess, it's about kids looking for a treasure that's been lost for centuries. So I guess the show is not supposed to make sense.
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole premise. Like, it's teenagers looking for
treasure.
lost treasure. Like some national treasure stuff.
Right.
Like, it's just...
As a child.
Yeah, they're high schoolers.
Right.
And they're on, like, an island to start the season for, like...
And survive for months.
And they're having fun. Like, this is Polk Island. Like, bro, what? Like, you're not worried, my guy? Like...
Or, like, when they're in the cave at the end, like, looking for the treasure. Like, how y'all actually survived that?
Dude, how do you not, like, freak out?
I know.
Like, you're in a dark cave, like...
They made it out perfectly fine. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. So, yep, solid 3 for me.
Not a fan.
Solid 4 or 5 for you. Yep. We just finished watching the rest of season 4 of You.
Like, literally just finished it.
Yeah.
Wow.
And we were debating on if we want to talk about details for all of these shows, but they just, like, came out.
Yeah.
I don't know. We didn't really go in detail for Outer Banks, so maybe let's not go in detail for You yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know we were talking about that before the show, but... Okay, but we can do our ratings.
Of You?
Of season 4 of You.
Okay. Honestly, I really liked it.
Me too.
So, like, to be honest, 8 or 9.
Yeah,
Like,
I was about to say 9.
I'm ranking it high.
Yeah.
Because, okay, we will just say, like, holy plot twist. Like, some of it, like, this season kept me on my toes, for sure. And it was a lot different than the other ones, and it was very entertaining.
Yeah.
And shocking. And, I mean, oh boy, he's just something else.
Yeah. I will say in season 4 of You, it starts off, we all know, looks like Joe is the good guy, he's the hero. Let's just say it does not end that way. It does not end that way. You're crazy. About to get like your mind twisted up into like, what does happen? Because it was some of the biggest plot twists I've seen in this show over the past 4 seasons.
All morning I'm still shocked at what was happening.
Yeah.
It's crazy, but it was really good. Like, I actually like it a lot.
I liked it a lot. I think
good.
Penn Badgley is how I say his last name.
I think so. I have no clue.
Of course, he did an awesome job.
He's awesome.
I feel like this role fits him so well.
He's a great actor.
Yeah, he's really spot on.
Yeah.
And the rest of the supporting cast were also awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know any of the names.
I don't either.
But
I mean,
Penn did his thing though.
Yeah.
He went. It was good.
Yeah. He's late.
Season 5 renewal is pending right now, but the way that season 4 ended, you would think there is a 5th season.
Yeah.
I read an article. Who knows how accurate this is?
Sure.
But Penn said he wants this to be the last season.
I think that would be sufficient.
I think so too.
Because the way I really like this season, it could just be one more and that would be fine. Or even, I mean, I don't know. I don't know if I want it to end now because it was really good, like this season. So like one more, like, let's not ruin it. You know, like let's not ruin our good streak that we're on right now.
Well, also like there's only one way this series is going to end. It's just like how Breaking Bad ended.
You think?
Yeah, you have to kill off Joe. You have to kill off Joe. He's gonna die somehow. Because if you don't, like, it's gonna be that endless like question, like, what if, like.
But that's kind of how Breaking Bad ended a little bit.
No.
That I remember, or unless I'm really not remembering. I watched it like a really long time ago.
Well, actually got shot up.
Well, I thought it was like, did he?
He did.
I thought there was like speculation if he was alive still or not.
No, he's for sure gone.
Okay.
And I say this about You because there was that big question mark about Dexter. And that's why they revived Dexter, because a lot of fans were saying, "Oh, we know, like, you have to start off or revive the series because we know Dexter's not dead." Because the show ended with him going out to some like hurricane.
Okay.
And then like his boat got crashed, and then the last scene is him being like a lumberjack somewhere. Like, so he like survived the boat crash. So there's like a big question mark, like, what's he doing now? What's he doing? Can't end a show like that. We need like a concrete end.
Interesting. I've never seen that show. So
I feel like if they try to do that with Joe, that's like what's his last name? Joe Goldberg. It'll be like the same thing. Like, we as fans be like, oh, that's come on, give us another like season, come on, because we know Joe's still alive. Like, let's keep this thing going.
I have some thoughts on how the next season can go, but we can maybe wait and share those next week when we talk a little bit more about it, so people can watch and see the plot twist.
Well, that's my way too early guess of how 5th season will go. It's like it's gonna be a downfall of Joe Goldberg. And it's going to be...
I feel like my thoughts can kind of lead to that, so...
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, last but not least, talk about books.
Books.
I know, this is everyone's favorite segment. What are we reading?
Hey, people do actually like to know what
they?
we're reading. Some people tell me that, yeah.
That's cool.
They're like, I want to know how...
Cool, bro.
Opinion... You're just jealous.
Okay, so Brooke, what are you reading?
Nothing. I'm not reading anything right now.
Nothing.
No.
That's actually a shocker.
I know. It is actually. I think it's because I just read 2, listened to 1 book. Like last month I read 3 books.
Really?
So now I'm like, I don't know. I'm at a stopping point, but I've also been like stressed and like I feel like we've been busy. I literally have not sat down to do some like free time reading in like weeks.
Really?
Yeah. So, but I am thinking of starting the book that Brendyn got me for my birthday and our little shopping spree.
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow is what it's called. Can't remember the author, to be completely honest.
I don't remember either.
But it's like, and I honestly can't even remember what it's about right now. I'm like blanking.
I don't remember the book
But
I got.
it has like,
It's called.
oh yeah, it's got a yellow cover. That's all I know.
Yeah.
But I know it's like a kind of like a friendship like trope. It's more about like friend relationship over like love relationship kind of thing. If I'm remembering correctly, what my friends at book club were telling me, because a lot of them read it, and that's why I was like, wow, I want to read it. And there was like some like gaming references in it. I can't remember. I think they're like some sort of business partners, and they're like really good friends, and it's a really good story. So
yeah,
I'm intrigued. It's a really big book. That book we got is like, I was like, oh, I didn't know it was this long of a book. But that's one that I've been wanting to start. But I have so many books that I want to read.
I have a long list too.
Yeah, so that is what is on my to be read list. But yeah, I'm not reading right now. I'm a little ashamed of myself, but
it happens. You've been going crazy.
Yeah,
as this year started.
That's facts.
Yeah. I'm just reading this one right here. It's on the table. What's it called again?
Beautifully Foolish Endeavor.
Beautifully.
A beautifully. It's like a mouthful.
Foolish. Yeah, I was to say I forgot that was even the title of it. Look. It's a long one. Yeah, it's kind of bad. I'm still reading it. I've been reading this for like, so this is the 10th week of the show. I've been reading it for like way longer than 10 weeks. I started reading before we started the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. As you all can tell, I'm not disciplined in that front. But I have been playing lots of like Madden. And my franchise team has been going crazy. So whatever.
That's facts. I feel
also
like you just need to reach a good point in that book, because I read that like on my vacation one time, like a couple years ago.
Yeah. I remember
like less
that
than
you
a
read
week.
it. Yeah, you liked it a lot.
It got really good. I think it's also really good because I read like the first one and then that one like pretty close after each other. So maybe that's what was it too. It was kind of like more of a motivating for me. So like you read the first book like pretty when we started dating, like
yeah, it was
like 5 years ago.
I read it fast and a long time ago. It was 2018.
So I feel like that could be like it too, because I really wanted to read that one because I really was like intrigued by the ending of the first one. So that could be it too.
Yeah.
But that one kind of starts off a little dry, so
it does take a while to get into.
Yeah. That's okay,
I'm also reading The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F still. That's more like a self-help book.
Mm-hmm.
It actually worked too. I felt like my confidence in myself has really increased over the past few months because I really stopped caring what people think.
Right.
I mean, it's like impossible to ever it's impossible to go 0%.
Right.
Like, I think everyone still has like a little voice in their head, like, oh, I'm so worried what people might say about XYZ or what I'm doing. But it's just more like, who cares, man? Like, it's more like, who cares, because people are going to judge you anyway. Mm-hmm. And like, they might judge you, and then tomorrow they're going to like forget about you. Yeah. Those are my big takeaways from that book. And I feel so bad I don't remember the title of the book I just got.
I know.
But it's another like self-help kind
I
of.
want to say it's called like Bright or something, or am I just like making that up because the
is
cover
it called yellow? Bright or like Light?
One of those. That's why doesn't that kind of ring a bell? I felt like it was one of those.
I don't remember. But I'll give you all an update.
I was going to say, we can get specifics for next episode.
At this rate, it might give you all an update in like 6 months about that book. Because I don't know when I'm going to read it.
It's shorter. Like
it is shorter, art, but so is the Subtle Art Not Giving an F. And I've still not made through that.
To be honest, I feel like that book is one where you don't have to like read through it like in one kind of period of time. Like I feel like, I don't know, maybe that's just my thought on like nonfiction kind of like self-help books, is like you just pick it up when like you need it. It's not like a story. Yeah,
that is true.
So that's a okay point of like, it's okay that you're not done with it.
Let's see. We're underneath an hour.
Slay.
Go off.
Stop.
Cool. Well, Brooke, you have any last thoughts, comments, notes?
I don't think so. I
Words.
like everything we talked about in this one, and I've been really wanting to talk about like the apathy stuff for sure about teaching. So I'm glad we got to talk about that, and I'm intrigued to hear like other teachers like or anyone's input like that work with kids or anything like that too, to see what they're thinking about that or if they have an experience with that too, because teaching be crazy and just trying to make
Teaching
it
is
through.
really, really crazy.
Just
crazy
trying
job.
to find the passion nowadays.
Yeah.
Spring break still a little ways away, but anyways, yeah, I liked everything we talked about, and yeah, it's been a good episode, a nice one where we could just chill and talk about a lot of things that we've been talking about and seeing.
Yeah.
What about you?
Nope, I am good. I said everything I want to say. I'm excited for next couple of weeks for the NFL, the Bears.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of other news should be. So yeah, it's gonna be a lot of this crazy stuff, which is awesome.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll try to be better next week. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Please follow us on every single account that you may see.
Twitter.
Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. We're also on YouTube, so please subscribe to our channel.
Yes.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I think so.
Cool. Well, thank you all again, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye, guys.
See ya.